I will never forget that. The look on his face.
I'm going to have to gargle with acid now.
Coming up today on This Is True Really News. Ooh, doctor stories. If you like doctor stories the way I like doctor stories.
We know how those end.
If you like doctor stories the way I like doctor stories.
No one likes doctor stories the way you do.
Please.
No one.
Like, comment, follow, and subscribe.
There you sure.
So This Is True Really News. And if you have a story we'd like to see, or you'd like us to like to see, send it to TITR@netradio.network. There, I got through it. I don't think anybody noticed the mistake.
No, I sure didn't.
This is True Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true.
Really?
As far as you know.
So, Beirut Report journalist Habib Battah got his hands dirty on a recent flight from Paris to Toronto, according to Canoe. I know, in this day and age of when you've got things like the internet, you get things like Canoe reporting news.
What the heck is Canoe?
It's a boat that I don't know. I'm guessing
calling your weapon your gun. Come on.
Some sort of news.
Okay.
It's some sort of website, I'm guessing. Google Canoe and see what we get. And if you get nothing but boats.
Is it spelled the way I think?
Yeah, just like Canoe, Canoe. Anyway, an hour into the transatlantic flight, I kept smelling something gross and couldn't figure it out. While investigating, Battah discovered a large, wet-to-the-touch stain on the floor around his seat.
Oh.
The strap of his...
Is this the story I should be doing?
Maybe. The strap of his backpack, which was under the seat, was soaked in it. A flight attendant only gave him some wipes to clean it up before casually...
setting it on fire?
Casually noting a passenger had hemorrhaged on a flight before ours.
Oh.
Said the Air France staff were shocked because a crew had removed the seats after the previous flight's incident, but apparently hadn't bothered to clean the bloody carpet. And that's bloody as in not English bloody.
Right.
No. This is not a customer service issue. It's a biohazard.
Right. I've had to do all kinds of training for teaching at the Y on, bloodborne pathogens.
I have one of my asthma medics is it's like an EpiPen, right?
Oh, okay.
Every other week. We have to have a Sharps disposable for it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So somehow or another, blood on the carpet didn't bother, blood on the seat bothered him. And enough to soak it up?
Canoe.com.
Didn't think the carpets were that thick. Yeah?
Oh, Canoe.com. Canoe.com looks to be a Canadian.
Okay. Oh, Canada.
First headline, dismemberment murder of Toronto area contractor was a message sent and received.
So it'd be our kind of place.
Yeah, right?
Listen, do a story. I want to go check this out.
Okay. Medical stories. My wife worked in the emergency department.
Hang on. I haven't got there to check it out yet, and I do not want to hear these. Because they're going to be gross, and I know this.
No, they're not. They're going to be stupid.
Yeah.
A guy came in with life-threatening severe sepsis due to injecting his arms and legs with plant fertilizer in an effort to grow his muscles.
Well, that's pretty much stupid on a stick.
Right? I recently had a patient in the ICU who crashed his car while drunk and ended up with a traumatic brain injury. He would wave his arms around and try to pull out the tube while trying to talk. Finally, we decided to extubate him and see what he was desperately trying to say. He told my resident, "We matched on Tinder and I sent you a message. Why didn't you reply?" Traumatic brain injuries are hilarious at times, once you get through the scare.
If you don't have them.
Yeah, Drew had a friend who got hurt pretty badly, and they had to handcuff him or restrain him to the bed because he kept trying to get out, and that's often the case.
Yep.
And Drew went to visit him, and they had the one hand like this And every now and again, he'd stop and say, really, we got to trim this branch. You got to tell somebody. Anyway, I had a patient whose skin darkened due to primary adrenal insufficiency ask me if his normal color would come back because my wife likes my new dark skin. But my girlfriend doesn't. See, I told you, stupid.
On a stick.
My mom fell off our roof and broke her back.
I thought you had to step on a crack in the sidewalk to do that.
Apparently, she was terrified she was going to become a vegetable because after back surgery coming out of anesthesia, she asked the nurse, am I broccoli or cauliflower?
Neither your Brussels sprouts. Go back to sleep.
Finally, a doctor friend of mine told me a woman came into the ER with a blanket over her.
Right.
Everyone assumed she was breastfeeding a baby. Turned out everyone was right. Except it was a raccoon.
Ow.
What? And besmirch my son's infirmities? We shall not speak of it.
I want that hairy ape. The baby was actually a
raccoon.
The Presbyterian Ladies College, which is not actually a raccoon, in Croydon, Australia, it's a private girls' school. You probably gathered that.
Yeah. Well, it's at least Presbyterian.
Have you watched, by the way, Feast of the 12 Fishes on, I think it's on Netflix.
No.
You would like it.
Okay. Why?
But it's leaving on the 15th. It is a marvelous little character study of a little blue-collar town outside of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Right along the Monongahela.
Oh, the
Monongahela. Three rivers, which used to surround their stadium. It's just and it's an Italian outpost, an Italian enclave, if you will. It's gorgeous.
Oh, sure.
And one of the main characters has a Polish last name, so it's that kind of Italian movie.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only one tiny little shred of violence. Well, two if you count the one brother giving his younger brother a head noogie. The Presbyterian Ladies, you like it, but it's leaving the 15th, so do what you have to do.
All right.
Presbyterian Ladies College in Croydon, Australia, private girls' school, recently had a bit of egg on its face after drone footage captured the suggestive shape of a new garden bed on the campus.
The girls did this on purpose, didn't they?
Pretty much wondering what that could be. The Sydney Morning Herald reported the garden was designed by an architectural firm. That puts a little different light on it. A school staff member said that as they considered chairs for the garden, they sent a drone up to take pictures. At a certain angle from up high, the garden, shall we say, took on a rather phallic shape, which they say was not intended and not expected. As a result, the architects had to make some alterations, you think. It took them 72 hours to, shall we say, alter the outline. One unidentified former student said the immediate response was, of course, laughter.
Mm-hmm.
Photos have been circulating among the school. The best meme they said being, oh, good morning.
Yeah.
You got to admit, I don't care. See, Presbyterian Ladies College or any, if you're going to a private religious school, if that happens, you're getting jokes. Oh,
and you should.
And really,
it is the way God intended.
That's why he gave kids brains.
It's for them to misuse them at every opportunity.
Exactly right.
Some headlines. Experiments.
Wait a minute. Have you been wearing using a corduroy pillowcase again?
Yes.
Wearing a corduroy headband?
Headlines.
Thank you.
Experiments suggest diamond rain in the atmosphere of icy planets may form at lower pressures than previously thought, may offer insight into the magnetic fields of Neptune and Uranus.
Did not do that planet any favors.
Urn stolen by ash hole.
Are we still at a parochial college somewhere?
Maybe. For the first time, 2 offshore wind farms are sending electricity to the U.S. grid. A watershed moment for climate action.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Researchers discover fossilized bacteria capable of photosynthesis, dating to 1.75 billion years old. Find sheds light on the production of oxygen on the early Earth. Mooning case reveals crack in law. And in science news,
Yes.
Uranus takes a pounding more frequently than thought.
Oh, my.
You know, it's on its side, and
Yeah, I think
There's a weird-
Yeah, sure. Pounding from the.
lots of things from the solar system run into it.
Are we done now?
Well, that was my last story,
Oh, I probably have to do another
and
one.
I've
then.
done 2. Yeah,
Have I done 2?
I don't know.
You're not helping.
I know. Oh, you must have, because you
I
did
have
the
done
first
2.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we're done.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.